Well, it's official. I have decided to start some sort of page, um, podcast, channel, whatever the correct word is, whatever I'm supposed to say. But I'm really excited to do this. I have absolutely no clue what this is supposed to be, what it's going to become, or how often I'm even going to be able to do this, but I am excited. So I wanted to kind of create some sort of introduction, I guess, for what I'm trying to do here. For people that don't know me, my name is Hogan. I just work an average job. I'm an average guy. I might be 27 by the time this comes out. I'm currently 26. Birthday's in a few weeks. So if you want to go ahead and wish me happy birthday. But I over the last couple of months, over the last year, I have grown in my faith, of course, but also just grown in my desire for teaching God's word. I've been so blessed to have an opportunity to teach a small men's group at my church on Wednesday nights. And it's been a long time since I had any opportunity like that. I was able to teach and lead a little Bible study back in high school and college amongst some friends, and just haven't been able to do that over the last several years because of life. I have three daughters, all under the age of 5. I have a full-time job, like I said, and so when the Lord gave me that opportunity to teach, I'm still doing that, but it just kind of sparked my curiosity and interest in doing it more. And I started to wonder if this was something that maybe I could do when I had free time. And so that's where this came from. If you can tell, if you're watching the video, I'm just sitting in my truck currently. You can see I've got props back here from my wife. She's a photographer, so I've got all her junk in here. I've got car seats and stuff in here. And it's not a podcast studio by any stretch. So the audio quality hopefully is decent. I've got a little makeshift microphone. I've lost the actual stand to it, so I'm having to hold it. And I'm just sitting in the parking lot of my work, and that's kind of the whole purpose of this page. Like I said, I'm just an average guy. I work a 9-to-5 job, and a lot of people that I know, and maybe you are one of these, you're just an average person too. You're working a normal job. And I started to think about ways to be a good steward of the time the Lord has given me. And I am afforded every day a 30-minute lunch break. And I thought, you know what? What if I took one day a week for that 30-minute lunch break I'm allotted? And what if I recorded some sort of Bible study and published it for anybody that was interested? And so that's where this came from. I started to kind of develop it, over the last couple of months, and I've been really nervous about publishing it because I think some self-awareness is going to do me some favors. I know I look absolutely ridiculous sitting in my car. I know I hate the way I look on video. This is the reason I'm going to have a hard time making eye contact with the camera because I'm just going to be seeing my face. And then I also do not like the way I sound on recordings. I sound much more Southern than I actually realize. And I've got all these little things that I do, and I don't enjoy watching myself. I don't enjoy listening to my own voice. So I do realize I look ridiculous and I look goofy, and that's okay. That's okay. I put in on my own personal page a post the other day where I kind of introduced the page and and tried to share it for anybody that was interested in it. And I put in there that I am not trying to become some sort of like content creator, influencer person. It's not really my personality. I'm not creative enough for that. So do not expect that from me. But I also put in there that I realize that this is going to maybe look a little ridiculous. But also realize that if I can just simply encourage one person, if one person follows his page and is interested in this kind of stuff I'm putting on there and is encouraged and is, drawn closer to Jesus as a result of that, then man, I'm content. I've done everything that I desire to do. And there's a song that I've been kind of listening to a lot recently. And I believe it's an older hymn, possibly. I don't know when it was written, but it talks about all the glory being to Christ. And it says, "Let nothing of our efforts stay, no legacy survive. Unless the Lord does build the house, in vain the builders strive." And I think I do realize that. I realize that if I'm going to accomplish anything, the goal has to be to glorify Jesus. And so the last thing I want is for somebody to come on here and think of me as better than somebody else, or think of me as more holy or more knowledgeable. That's not the point. If that's what people are coming away with watching this page and listening to me, then I have failed. I desire and I long to make Jesus' name known more. It's a big reason why I didn't really want to do videos, because I don't want people to look at me. However, I understand this is the way that content is made. And so you get the pleasure of seeing me in my truck, or eventually I'm swapping vehicles over to a van. So I'll be in a van very soon. So this might be the only video you see in a truck. Maybe not. Been having some issues with the van. But I just wanted to hop on here and do some form of introduction of who I am and what the goal is. What am I going to be doing? My plan is, every Monday to publish some sort of lesson or video for people to listen to it and hopefully be encouraged and push closer to Jesus. We're going to be grounded in God's word, and I don't exactly know what direction it'll eventually take, what shape this will eventually take, but for the time being, I've got a few things planned that I'd like to teach on, and hopefully you find them encouraging. I am publishing this on Facebook. This is probably where most people will see this. I'm planning on putting it on a YouTube page if you're more active on there, or if you enjoy watching stuff more on there. It will be published to a podcast. I'm hesitant to call this a podcast because, believe it or not, I used to have a sports show that I did when I was in college that failed miserably. And having a podcast just makes me sound like I'm really trying hard. But I will probably publish it to a podcast somewhere, because if you're like me, I don't like to watch stuff on Facebook. I'd much rather listen to something. So if you're like me, it'll be published to some sort of podcast where you can go find the links and everything. And if all goes right, those links should be somewhere in this video description. So I don't really know what else to say. I think that might be all I have on my chest right now. But hopefully this serves as a decent introduction to me and what I'm trying to do here. Oh, the name of the show. So it's called Breaking Bread. It's kind of a pun. My wife actually, in a Christian way, bullied me out of the original name. I'm not going to say the original name. I'll let her share that with anybody. It was a pretty bad name in hindsight. But Breaking Bread is the name now. And it's kind of a pun because I'm coming out here on my lunch break, and I'm recording this during that time. So I was trying to think of something catchy, and I was like, oh, Breaking Bread. It's lunch themed. And so maybe you're like me. If you have a normal 9-to-5 job, you get a lunch break every day. Maybe this is something that you listen to on your lunch break. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. And it's planning to come out on Mondays. For the main reason is Mondays usually are not very popular. And so for people to get a godly start to the week on Monday and be encouraged, then that would be great. So I think that's everything I've got to say. If something else comes to mind, I may make another video, but I plan to be posting actual like lessons and stuff maybe next week. So follow this, share this if you would like, if you're interested. If there's something that you would like for me to touch on or teach, comment that, or gosh, I do sound like a content creator. Just message me. Chances are you may have my phone number. You can text me. So I think that's all I got. So thanks for watching, and I hope you're encouraged. So have a good day.